What's up? What's up, guys? So, welcome to the fifth episode of the Connect 0007 podcast. And today we're going to talk about something a bit vulnerable. So, as you can see, the name of this topic or this episode is Everyone is Battling Something. And before I jump into this, I always have to share my little fun fact. So, apparently, otters, they hold hands when they sleep so they don't float away from one another. I find that to be adorable. But, Larry, let's get in this podcast. Okay, so this one is going to be, like I said, a bit vulnerable. And I feel like this will definitely just kind of hit home with a lot of people. It's just something that we hear and you don't really think too much of it, but I actually want to talk about it. So how this even began is I personally have been going through my own stuff, my own battle. And I put a status on my Facebook and I had to print it so I remember what I said. Basically, in my status, I said, everyone is fighting a battle you know nothing about. My question is, did you win today? Did you lose? Are you still struggling? And then I said, I hope you get through it from the depths of my spirit to yours. And, I had to share that because I, at the time, was struggling with mine. And just to be very real, because I know some people, they say these things, but some people don't really share what the heck it is. And maybe some people are too afraid. I don't know. And some people don't need to know. But for me, I'm going to share it because fear left me forever ago. So I'm going to be vulnerable and share what my battle is and something that I'm still working through. I would say some days are better than others. But these past few days, it's been kind of a little rough. But for me, my battle has been I've been starving, and it's not a food type of starve because everybody who knows me know I eat like it's nobody's business. But this has been a deep, deep starvation, not feeling full, not feeling I guess you can say fulfilled, but I just haven't been feeling full. And I've been struggling with that just about as long as I can remember. And things that I thought it wasn't until just recently. I just kind of had to stop all of my distractions, be it social media, playing a game, helping people, just all types of stuff. I really just had to stop and really look and see what the hell it is that I'm starving from. And I say it pops up in many different ways because for me, I'm very talented in many different things. I have a gift for a lot of things, and I put my mind to something, I can get it done. And, just upon meeting me, I'm sure you'll be able to feel that and stuff like that. But one of my struggles was not that I wasn't good at something, but my struggle was, gosh, there's a lot of things that I could do. And this isn't to sound arrogant. I'm very confident in myself, but it was just a struggle with, gosh, there's a lot of things that I could do, but none of them feel right. None of them felt this is something I wanted to do. A lot of people who really don't know me would say, oh, you should go to school and stuff like that. I'm like, nah, I went to school, wasn't feeling it, dropped out. Just, it wasn't satisfying or nothing like that. And, I would do some things and they would go cold. I would do business stuff. It goes cold. What was it? I did another venture of mine. It went cold. So I would get these passions to do things, but they just, in a sense, they just went cold. And I learned from them, and I'm glad that I went through it. But, there was just some times where I was just dang, I'm just not really feeling full. And for me, I had to really, the question that kept popping in my head these past few days was, are you happy or are you distracted? Like, just, are you distracted just right? That was a question that came to me. Are you happy or are you distracted just right? Because I always thought I was happy and I really wasn't. And I would sometimes, like I said, I have my off days where it's like, I would think, dang, am I? And I'm like, nah, I know I'm happy. Like I have nothing to be, unhappy about. If you outside looking in, I'm doing a lot of things and it's funny, outside of me, everything's in peace, there's harmony and stuff like that. But inside, again, I keep saying I'm starving. So, I wouldn't put too much thought into it because I could just feel like it would bring me down. So what would I do? And some of you may relate. I may distract myself and I may just get on social media for a bit and laugh, share some funny memes or stuff like that. Or I'll play my game because I'm just like, I just need to chill. I just need to vibe, getting good vibes, kind of distract myself a bit from it. And there's been times where I am the type, I face whatever it is, but this one I really couldn't pinpoint until I want to say, was it till last night, actually, till last night. And I really just had to kind of just sit down with it because I would think, am I depressed? Because I wasn't sure what it was. And I'm kind of going on a bit just to see, because some of you guys may be going through this and you may think you're depressed or something and you may not be. I don't know you, but this is just for me. I thought maybe I'm depressed. Is this depression? Am I sad? Why do I just feel like this? Like I felt basically empty, to be really honest with you. I felt very empty. And I would do stuff to fill it and it would be temporary, but I was just super, super empty. And I was even talking with my father and stuff like that. But I'm not, to be honest with you guys, I'm really not the type to share something like this with just everybody. But we're doing it because I feel like it's going to help a lot of people. I mostly talk to one or two people about really deep stuff that's going on with me. Besides that, sometimes I don't really even share what my problems are because usually I solve my problems once I figure out what it is. So I may have a problem and I may figure it out within that day max. But it's just like today I really just had to sit down and literally turn everything off, I had to take a whole day to myself and really just figure it out. So like I said, me being really empty. That is something that's my battle. And I would say I'm getting through it because I learned for me what I needed to fill that emptiness was me personally. It was my spirit. And what I mean by that is I'm very connected spiritually, with myself, things around me, ancestors, all that good little stuff, all that good jazz. And I really need to sit down and just really listen to my spirit every day. That's what I have to do. And this is, everybody, it may be different. Some people may, be starving in another different area. But for me, it was just my spirit. I really just need to sit down with my spirit because it's weird to say this, but because I know if I put my mind to something or I get excited or something, I can excel at it. But it's not going to be for me. It's going to go cold like the rest of the things because it wasn't for me. I learned and I gained, but it's going to go cold. So I have to really sit down and let my spirit talk to me and guide me daily on the path that I'm currently on, which is unique and different from everyone else. Everyone is on their own path. I learned that I would say not the hard way, but I had to learn that very strongly, earlier in my journey. And I really have to just sit there and listen. And it's a struggle for me. That's my battle. I'm going to say that's my battle. It's a struggle for me sometimes to just sit down and just listen And so, because sometimes I just want to do this, I want to do that. I'm a self starter, all this good little stuff. But it's just like, no, bro, sit down, listen. And when I listen, what's funny is when I listen, everything just goes so smoothly. I mean, just today, my intuition, it is so funny. I have a GPS, like a spiritual GPS. I may want to take a certain route, but my intuition may say, though it's between 4 and 6 and you think traffic is horrible, you should get on I-95. And sure enough, I get on I-95. It's smooth. I get off, all green lights. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got here faster. And you would think, bruh, you should do that all the time. But I sometimes struggle with that. And why is because there's also emotional shit that happens. We all have our days, And for me, sometimes someone in particular or something could piss me off. And it's just like, F it. I'm going to do this because I need to vibe or I'm going to kill somebody. We say that. We go overboard. We say these things. But and when I get like that, my intuition and my spirit, it still speaks to me. But, some days it's very hard. And not only that, but with listening, again, I'm going to go deeper into my struggle of why is it hard. It's because some days I can get a bit impatient because there's things that I really want to get done, not just for me, but to help more people. Like I really love to help people. And I get frustrated with that. So there's like a lot of internal battles with this. And that is pretty much what causes this whole starvation. And when I do listen, it's like, okay, that felt good. Like I needed that. And mind you this, I just figured this out. Like, I really want to tell you, I figured this out last night that it was my spirit, but now I found out before I did this podcast what it is that I needed to do. And that is just, again, that's my battle. And it is some days where it is going great and I am winning. And then there is some days where it's great. I'm going to say losing for people to understand it, but really I'm gaining. So I really win all the time. But some days it's a bit of a struggle, but I also gain from those struggles. It presents to me things that I need to be aware of, and it makes me stronger. But some days it's just really super hard. And, also another thing is with my struggle is like my battle is not for me to tell everybody. Like when people say, oh man, I'm here for you. And I love that and I appreciate them. But my spirit also tells me, no, you can't talk to this person about this. You're just going to make it worse. I learned that much earlier. My spirit says, hey, you can talk to this person or hey, you can talk to that person. But I always know it can be resolved if I just sit down and just talk to my spirit and I'm going to get the answer immediately. Sometimes it's just like, gosh, I just want to talk to somebody about this. And it's just like, I do it. And sometimes it really goes downhill. And then other times it stays stagnant. And rarely it'll be, oh my gosh, I needed that. But that's why I say, sometimes with close friends, you have to counsel with the right people. And that's what I do. And people I have to counsel with, I always get good stuff from or get feedback. But that is my battle, guys. That is something that I struggle with. I'm not going to go into too many details. You get the gist because I can literally just sit here and go on and on about this. But I'm not the type to talk about problems or issues. I'm all about solutions. So why? What's the point of this? For me, I wanted to just like share this for this particular episode. I just wanted to bring more awareness just to this like topic, I just wanted to bring awareness to this so you can formulate your own way of being like when you meet others, because other people are going through stuff and they may not have no one to tell. And that is crazy. Like it's really hard when you're out here on your own, but I wanted just to bring more awareness because we hear this and we go, oh, that's true. And then we go on about our day. But when you're meeting people and you're connecting with people, just be aware that, they may be smiling and you may think, oh my gosh, this person is successful, or this person has money, or the flip side, this person, whatever, they going through it. As always, some people, they always going through it. But, just be aware that they have their own battle that they are like, going against. And some days they're winning, some days they're losing. And some days it's just a goddamn struggle just to get out of goddamn bed. So be aware of that and formulate your own, way of being when you just connect with people. So for me, what I do now that I like with this, because I've always heard this and now I'm just really just talking to it to share with you guys. But what I do is a few things. So I have, like, off the bat, I have a higher degree of respect for others because they're still here, man, and they're fighting a battle and they're choosing to stay alive through it. Some of us, sad to say, but just being real, some people don't really make it. People commit suicide out here, and that's hard. That's really sad. I'm not going to go too deep into that because I'm sure you know some or know of or whatever. It's just sad. And it just brings just a higher degree for me. I just have a higher degree of respect when I just meet people because I'm like, whatever they're going through, man, they choosing to smile, even if they just smiling right here in front of me or whatever, or they smiling because, god dang it, they got a text message and they finna get something later on. I don't know, but they smiling, and I like that. Even if it's that's something different, I just respect that because, man, you still here. Another thing is I also seek to understand people more when I first meet them, just to kind of feel who they are and just how I can help them. I think I put a post. What was this? I went to a Black concert. Well, that was the name of the artist, Black, with my brother, and it was very random, but we was in Miami. I hate Miami. Just know this. Let it be known, people. I hate Miami. And we got there. Long story short, we went to get a bite to eat at a vegan restaurant. My brother's not vegan, so we had to go somewhere else afterwards. But this random guy came off the street to avoid a situation. And let's just say, I think there was a druggie / hooker involved that just randomly walked with them into the room. I don't know the full details, but that's what he told me. And I'm just like, oh, wow, this is random. But a part of me is like, gosh, this is fun. It's random. I didn't get like, oh my gosh, he's going to like kill his vibes, but he was cool. And he paid for my meal. My brother didn't eat, but he paid for my meal. But usually I think most people would be like, oh no, dude, you're a creeper. But I wanted to talk with him as he came up. He just sat down. He literally just came up because it was an outside restaurant. He just came up, sat down and say, I'm sorry to barge in on you guys, but I'm just trying to avoid a situation. I was like, okay, it's cool, man. Sit down. And I just was letting him talk because I was really trying to understand him. Like, okay, there's a situation he's trying to avoid. And I get that, you mean us no harm. I understand. I wouldn't want to be in that situation too. Hey, I'm waiting on my food. Let's chat. That's just me. Most people would be weirded out, but I mean, I can pick up these things. But I just had to understand the guy, the guy was trying to avoid a situation and he did whatever he did to do it. And that meant, I guess, sitting with us. That's different for most people, but that's just how I am. I just seek to understand. And I know that's totally random. Still talk about that. But lastly, like, I usually give people more second chances just because that day, some days some people be just going through it. They really do. And some days they may be losing their battle that day and they may have outburst. And whatever it is, they may be I don't know, they may not be themselves and they just act differently. And, you could take offense or you could be mad, but it's just, hey, to each their own. Me, I just give people more second chances because I just like, okay, I know you. Usually you're good, you're cool, but the day something's off, you don't want to talk about it, or you seem a little different, you quiet. Okay, cool. I'm gonna give you whatever you need. Be it space, or you need someone to talk to, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna do that. Or you may just do something really off the wall and everything may go left. And I could get pissed, but it's like, hey, he's normally not like this. I'm going to give him a second chance because I don't know what the heck he's going through or she's going through. And I don't want to add to that person's struggle because I wouldn't want nobody to add on to mine. So that's just something that I do off the regular when I'm just connecting with different people. And I hope that just by this podcast, this episode, you can gain something from this. I'm not sure what your battle may be. I honestly hope that you sit down and you just pinpoint what it is. Meaning, like, if you have to get away from people and the damn phone too, or drive somewhere and get completely alone, even if you got babies or you got whatever, somebody can watch the baby for an hour or so. You can make something work. Give yourself that time to really figure out what it is that you need, or, to win that battle. And sometimes some of us may not even know what the hell the battle is. We just may be just going through it and not understanding why we're going through it. And that requires you to really just sit down and reflect. So if anything, I hope you get something from this, maybe a clue to win your battle. And also it broadens your awareness on knowing that everybody has their own personal battle that they're struggling with. And you can formulate or change your perspective or be a little bit different or be a better version of yourself in knowing this and coming at people a slight bit differently than you normally do. So with that being said, I am finished with this podcast. I love you guys. I also thank the new people again who have been supporting the podcast and following it. You guys are greatly appreciated, seriously. And with that, again, I say, I hope today, man, and if not today, I hope tomorrow you win your battle and you just continue to move forward and just keep going. At some point, we're all going to figure this stuff out and we're going to be much happier that we got through it. So that being said, I will talk to you guys soon. Later.